can sign up and paint what they see around them outside in the air, in the fresh air. So we had 12 sign up the morning of. We had 10 complete. They're painting at 12:30. We had some great judges. And I just want to personally thank those who generously sponsored our winners. We had Miller Hardware, the Public Art Advisory Committee, and then the Central Boston Development Authority. They gave out the prizes for first, second, and third. We had 10, of course, complete. So we gave out first place was Todd Russell. Many of you probably saw his painting. He was actually there at 4 a.m. and I got there at 7 a.m. He was like, I just was up and decided to come paint. He's like, this is not what I'm submitting. So it was fun to see him there. Second place was Emmy Shiver. She's a junior at Lowndes High School. She just kind of started, she's had a talent since really kindergarten, but she's really picked it up in the last few years. She was second place, and then third place was Daisy Taylor. So we just appreciate those who came out to do our plein air. We had a lot of interest in it after because people were walking around seeing those young people and some others in our community paint. So we were really thankful for all of their participation, as well as just in general for Bluesberry. We did hundreds of pancakes. I think we felt like we were slinging pancakes all day. I think if we could have had them ready at 7 a.m., the Classic Car Club would have been really excited. So we did several hundred pancakes with White Pines, and it was just a great day. So we appreciate all of those who came out and supported that great event.
You want to talk a little bit about the Around Downtown program that Rachel worked on?
Yeah, we had.
Rachel's here. We're going to get her to talk about the golf course.
Yeah, so we worked with the downtown merchants, and we put the Putt Around Downtown throughout the downtown businesses, so it allowed foot traffic to actually go in those businesses. I think we gave out 16 or 18 homes, and we had several hundreds residents participate in that program as well. So it's really kind of an all-day thing for Bluesberry on our part, and we appreciate everyone who came out because it was definitely a team effort. So thank you.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to invite Ms. Thrasher up to talk to you all about the environment that we're in right now on the golf course. I know that you've seen some social media and we've talked about it, but I wanted you to hear from the lady herself what they're doing at Quiet Pines and how much golf we're playing.
Good afternoon. Just to tag on off the putt really quickly, it was a win-win for everybody. So it's important for us to make sure that we're keeping Quiet Pines name out there, even though we're obviously a little bit different than we were a little while ago. So it was a win-win, and we were really happy to do that for the downtown community during Bluesberry. As far as Quiet Pines go, we've been open since the end of November. We opened right after Thanksgiving in an amended way. So our building was destroyed, as most of you know, during the hurricane. And the partnership with Moody is one that is really something that we are very thankful for. They have gotten to the process, and we all know it's a long process when you're dealing with DOD and red tape, but they have received an award from the federal government for disaster recovery funds. When they received that award, I think they had right at 400 facilities on base that were damaged. They made a priority list. And I think this is going to speak to our work out at Quiet Pines when I tell you this. And of the 400, they had to list them obviously in order, and they made a top 20. We made the top 20 as far as facilities that they wanted to repair out there. After the top 20, they had to narrow it down further to the top 5, and we were in the top 5 of facilities they wanted to repair. So we have been highlighted by them as a valuable asset to Moody Air Force Base, but we're also a valuable asset to the community, and they feel that and they see it. So we have been operating out of a 32-foot portable building since November, and it has been interesting, and we are making it work. Thanks to Public Works, last week we don't have to roast anymore, so it's been insulated, and we have walls, and we sort of look like a real pro shop. We're servicing a lot of people, and I will say, I think it's important to point out, our numbers are different than they were prior to the hurricane just because of the loss of some of our amenities, but we are selling more golf than we have ever sold before. We are seeing so many new people coming out there, people who have never played golf before, and even people who love golf. So we're liking it. It's different, but we love it. As far as the building timeline goes, as you know, this is a Moody project, so they're going to be funding this 100%. There's no money from us coming out. I have met with, Paige and I met with Moody leadership and kind of went over the plans. I've met with the contractor, him and I are But staging and everything should start here shortly, and hopefully by June we'll be in full-blown construction. So,
Are you serving lunch?
we're not. So that is one of the downfalls to our situation with the building being destroyed. We don't have access to the building, so we don't have access to a kitchen. And Paige and I have looked through a lot of different options to see if there was anything we could do. One of the top priorities for me, and I know it is for her too, is making sure that whatever we do is really representative of what we did before. And so making sure that quality control is there is important to me, and it's important to my staff. And we haven't found a solution to that yet. I'm not saying we won't, but we are in the interim going to be working with a couple food distributors to do some ready-made sandwiches and things you can pick up so golfers can have something to eat while they're out there. We're working with what we have. It's different, it's unique, but we're making it work. And I'm really thankful for the team I have out there. They've really shown who they are and how committed they are for this whole process. So,
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rashid.
I saved not the best for last, but maybe since Rachel just bragged on Moody, and definitely someone who is a new friend, and he is the best we've ever had because he is the only that we've ever had, and so he has the ability to make this position his own, and I feel like that we have been fast friends from the very beginning, and that some of the good things that Rachel just talked about will be taken to the next level because of his influence and participation. So I'd like to bring up Mr. Garry Dodard. Mr. Dodard will tell you a little bit about himself and his role at Moody Air Force Base. He has an Army background, and the Air Force hired him, but he is doing a phenomenal job. I think a little Army has been good for the Air Force so far, and he is the Community Initiative Officer. And the best way I think to kind of translate that to what we do, he is very much Rachel, but for all of Moody Air Force Base. But he is here, he's in the community, he hit the ground running, he's already participating, he and his family already owned a home here, and Mr. Dodard, welcome home. We are so glad that you're here, and you're doing a phenomenal job already. And how about you tell these folks a little bit about what you're doing?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Dukes, and Mr. Chairman, and members of the commission. Thank you so much for welcoming me. I think you all have been observing me coming here for the past couple of weeks and wondering, who's the gentleman who's coming here? So as Ms. Dukes mentioned, I was formerly a career Army soldier, officer in the United States Army, and they created Moody Air Force Base actually had this position in mind over a year ago. And they've been looking to fill this particular position because they recognize the relationship that Lowndes County had with Moody Air Force Base. And it's been quite some time. It's been actually, frankly, it's probably been long overdue because almost every facet within Moody Air Force Base is basically connected within our community, whether public, whether private, or through education. So I kind of serve as that particular conduit to bring it all together because most of the commanders, as you all know, they come and go, moving on with their particular careers. And I understand because I've been there many, many times. But as Ms. Dukes had mentioned, this is home for me. I've been overseas for 12 years. We made Lowndes County our home. So I am here within the community, and I'm here to serve the community and also to help serve Moody Air Force Base. So specifically, my particular role is build those partnerships and establish those relationships within Lowndes County and Moody Air Force Base. And I'm the first of its kind with this particular position, so I am writing an SOP of how it's done. So you all are going to help me together write